This episode is brought to you by Welch's Fruit Snacks. Big news for your kids' lunchbox. Welch's Fruit Snacks are now made without any artificial dyes. A snack parents can feel good about and the same delicious taste kids can't get enough of. All made with no artificial dyes. Try Welch's Fruit Snacks today.
With Sam's Club, you have the freedom to shop your own way. Curbside pickup, delivered to your doorstep, come in and grab it yourself. Yes, yes, yes. They've got plenty of options. Your call. Say yes to shopping the way you want. Join now at samsclub.com/yes and. You must be 18 years or older to purchase a membership, and membership is subject to qualifications. Visit samsclub.com/yes and for details.
Welcome to episode 56, Two Crime Besties.
How's it going?
Good. When you said it was episode 56, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
I actually find myself now every time, like, because I do my notes in my phone when I'm like researching and stuff, and I'm like, and I think I wrote like 53 and then went, no, that doesn't sound right. No. But then I had a mental blank actually of ever really recording Anita Cobby. I was like looking at my things going, no, but did we actually record that? Like, it's funny how that just, I mean, we've spoken about it, how we finish recording and all of the information just gets sucked out of my brain and disappears.
So much so that when I re-listen to the episode, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I actually forgot about that. And if people come up and want to discuss the cases with me, I'm like, oh wait, I need to like switch my brain back on.
Absolutely.
It's gone.
It's actually why like I listen to the episodes when they get released. Yeah. Because I feel like if someone asks me a question, I should sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Don't want to be like, hold on, what? Did I actually say that? I don't know.
Oh, God. The weird and wonderful ways.
Oh, isn't that right? How has your week been?
Yeah, it's been a full-on week, but yeah, lots of like just getting back to work and school and all those sorts of things, and it's just come with, you know, all the stuff. This week's been busy. I am exhausted, like really exhausted.
Have you got much on for the weekend?
Yes and no, like not a great deal. During the day, stuff is just literally housework things. I've got things in the evenings, so so there'll be some late nights.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Then you can sleep in the next morning. I can
sleep in the next morning.
That's nice. We've got a couple of we've got a buy for one of my kids' sports this week, so I'm like, thank God, that's always great. One less thing to have to do. Brilliant. And yeah, we'll see how that all goes, but not very much longer left of football season. Thank God. That frees up 2 nights a week and 1 full day on the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally did my last midweek footy training session this week, and I'm like, oh yeah.
This is great.
This is good because that's a chaotic night, so we can say goodbye to that.
Yeah, that was horrible for you. Yeah. That was a bad one.
It was just bad, you know, it just didn't line up well this year, so who knows what next year will bring when the season starts again. So
Yes.
Always be different.
Well, every season's a bit of a juggle, isn't it?
That's it. It's just lining them all up with their multiple sports they do. So, yeah. I loved it last night though. I was like chatting with my mum with the fact that, you know, this will be our last one that we've got to do this crazy Wednesday night thing. And she goes, oh, that's great. Well, maybe you could just start doing some swimming on those nights instead. I was like, yeah.
We're trying to de-burden ourselves.
Maybe I could.
I could or I could not.
We'll see.
The thought of it, I've even, you know, I'm actually very seriously reconsidering winter sport over next season, over next year, because this has burnt me out, something shocking.
Yeah.
We've had something on every night. Every day on the weekends, there's no break.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Having both weekend days with sports, it's a lot.
You just don't get a break.
No.
You don't get a break. During the week, I can't remember if I was telling you about this, but I was listening to a podcast that was talking about, it's actually a really good, if you're interested in nutrition and up-to-date sort of stuff around that, 2 Australian dietitians have a podcast called The Nutrition Couch.
Oh, yeah.
And so Susie Burrell and Leanne Ward, their names are. Really good weekly podcast. I really rate them. But Susie was saying in the episode, she's like, I have completely changed the way I meal prep and do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I now do it on either a Friday night or a Saturday, and you don't feel like doing it. But she said, Sundays, I would always like begrudgingly spend the day, shopping, cooking, prepping.
Yeah.
And the day's gone by the time you've got some sport in there. And she's like, trust me, just try and shift it by a day and see how you go. I'm like, I'm totally trying that.
Yeah, allow Sunday just to be a free afternoon.
And just do nothing or do whatever you want. There's no obligation because all the things that you have to do are done.
Yeah.
And you've just got to, and I'm like, I'm trying that. So this week normally I do my grocery pickup order on a Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it on Saturday this week and see whether that changes things and try and actually do some meal prep on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
And get that all out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I generally do like my grocery pickup on a Saturday after sports.
Okay.
I plan it for on the way back home, like kind of thing, if things all work out. Yeah. And then, because then we do Platter Day Saturday for dinner that night. I don't cook. So, but I do the cooking I do would be any prep for the following week after so once I get all the groceries home, I do all my cutting up of everything or anything that's in there and because I don't necessarily cook to prep. I might just cut. So it's just as I unpack my groceries, do all those things.
Okay.
And then so then Sundays I don't have to do any of that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, because it just it means that way because the platter stuff I'm kind of cutting as well at the same time. It's all ready to go. It's just yeah.
I love that. I think this is going to change my life.
Yeah, no, I've always enjoyed that. It's like it makes it, I don't know, it just has it all ready to go.
Yeah.
Starts the week from there instead. And then you're starting on the Sunday with a little bit of an easier go for Sunday.
Definitely.
Well, because generally then Sunday becomes my clean the house day.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It has to get done though,
I
doesn't
know.
it?
It does, and it sucks. And for some unknown reason, it becomes dirty again in 5 minutes.
These bloody kids. I had Wednesday off work this week, and which is like it's just my normal day off. But I didn't have anything on.
Yeah,
I just had to do chores. Like I had to go to Costco, had to pick up a birthday present, and then the rest of the day was just cleaning.
Yeah.
So by the time I picked up the kid, and Peter was in the office, so he wasn't even at home.
House free. Yep.
When I picked up the kids from school, when I walked out to pick them up from school, I was like, this house has not looked so good in a very long time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The next morning when I left for work on Thursday morning, I walked out of there and I was like, fuck, I hope no one...
It's a pigsty.
Yeah, it's a pigsty. I hope no one robs the house and I need to have the police in here to like look around or something.
Totally the robber's fault.
Yeah. How in one night did it get like that?
Bloody children.
Bloody
that's how.
Kids, mate.
Yeah.
Bloody kids.
I know. Like it sounds awful, but
I love them.
when I have my weekends without the kids, I actually that's when I will do my clean even earlier because I generally don't have the sports and stuff like that. Because the best thing is if I can get it done on a Friday afternoon, evening sort of situation, I have an entire weekend of a clean house.
Oh, how amazing.
Yeah, and it's actually one of my
it's a little luxury.
It's a little luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's and so then it's just nice for the entire weekend. So if someone does come over or whatever, I feel good about my house.
Yes.
But yeah, it doesn't always line up. But the minute they get home on the Monday, like sort of stuff, it doesn't take long. No. And I love how they walk in and I'll be like, I'm like proud of the house, and they walk in and chuck the bag down, and they just get on with things over the top of their heads. That did you notice that that section over there is nice and cleaned up, and I put away all this and rearranged that, and they're like, huh, what?
They don't see we've got a bench.
Yeah, or they see it, they just don't do anything about it. Is that there'll be a pile of things on the stairs for them to put away as well, because I refuse to a degree do that for them, like. Sometimes it gets to me, but I'm like, I try to be like, no, you have jobs here you need to take
for sure,
responsibility for. And so there's always that pile of stuff on the stairs. And
you could probably talk to my mum about this because we lived in a double-story house when I was growing up.
So did I.
we would literally do the split.
Oh yeah, get over that basket.
Get over that basket or get over the pile on the stairs. Yep. What little assholes.
Oh yeah, I know. Now I'm like, it's all those things that you go, oh my God, I'm turning to my mum.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, how do you all walk past that pile of clothes?
Yeah. Can't you see it sitting there? And I've worked so hard to do that for you and to get your washing all nice and folded and clean.
Oh, I'm here in life. Yeah.
I cleaned up Oliver's room the other day. It wasn't terrible, but I just sort of rearranged a couple of things. I dusted and I wanted him to come home and be like, oh, Mum, made my
you
room
want some
really
praise
nice.
for it?
And he just came home and I'm like, oh, got anything to say about your room? And he's like, huh? No.
What? It doesn't look any different.
All right. Well, glad I went to all that effort then.
Oh, yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh, no, they don't. Don't appreciate it. No.
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 I was telling you the other day when we were at, I think it was when we were at the night we were at footy training, and we were discussing what we were going to have for dinners.
Yeah.
And this is just talking about the lack of appreciation.
Yeah.
So I decided to cook something that I could adapt for my fussy eater.
Yeah.
That my gourmand loves and that was easy to prepare, like in between picking up, dropping off, standing in the rain at footy.
They are like the unicorn of meals.
Yeah.
Like they are. And when you can find one of those that meets all the needs without too much
and it was
deviation.
on Wednesday, so I had time to like do the prep during the day before I had to pick them up from school, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Lucas, who's fussy, was like, what's for dinner?
Yeah.
I'm like, for you, chicken schnitzel and plain rice. And he's like, oh, that's disgusting. I'm like, what could possibly be disgusting? Oh, I don't like rice anymore. I'm like, oh, no, we're not doing that. No,
we're not cutting foods out.
We're
no,
not.
we're not here
You
for
are
that.
eating rice.
Yeah.
You are eating your schnitzel and you're going to bloody well like it.
Well, as I said to you, I love it when you leave school or sports or whatever, and the question always comes, what's for dinner, Mum? And I always tell my kids, can we save this argument for the car? Because
I don't want to have it in public.
No, let's not have this argument in public, because you just know that no matter what your response is, unless it's something like McDonald's, there is going to be an argument.
And someone will probably end up in tears on the walk back to the car.
And then you look like the asshole. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not answering that question until we get to the car. We close in close space.
In the privacy of our own car, I will reveal what we're having for
have that
dinner.
argument there.
But what's their response if you say, I don't know, whatever it is that you're cooking for the night? What do they say? Do they say like, oh, I don't want that?
Oh, it's always like, oh, I hate that. Like, no, out of the 4 meals you eat, this is one of them.
Yeah. This limitation is brought upon by you.
Oh, I always say to them, you open up the amount of food you eat, I open up the amount of things I cook.
Yeah.
It's really that
but
simple.
I'm not cooking for nothing.
No. It's frustrating because I always do the whole well, if you don't want that, what do you want? I will like sort of offer a bit of, okay, here to negotiate. What are we willing to do? But it's got to fit certain parameters, you know? And, but they'll usually then do the whole, I don't know. Like, well, if you don't know, then
what am I supposed to do with that?
Have what I'm dishing up then, because that's what you're going to get.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Because I usually give them whole well, if you're going to argue, there'll be something removed that you like and added that you must eat that's maybe not one of your favourites.
Don't argue with me.
Don't argue.
Don't even try it on.
You're already bending it enough.
Yeah. Oh, seriously.
Oh, God, no, dinners kill me.
Yeah, dinners are hard.
They are the worst.
And it's at the end of the day, everyone's tired. No one has the patience.
No. It's like over the holidays, I shifted to doing hot meal in the middle of the day sort of stuff, where I had the time and patience, or we're out and about, and it might have been an out and about meal kind of thing as well. But then I do lunch for dinner.
Or breakfast for dinner.
Breakfast for dinner, that kind of thing. I kind of went, it just took the pressure off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's so much more they'll eat for those things.
Yeah.
Or, well, for Brody, it's not really a meal. He likes to graze.
Yes.
Because
he is a grazer.
Who wants to sit still,
Yeah.
That's
boring.
Yeah.
That's boring. No one wants
boring.
that.
Unless you're sitting next to Kyle, apparently.
Oh, when you sent me that photo of the tank cleaning with Brody
Yeah.
and Kyle, it's literally Kyle is at his cheek.
He's just finished kissing him. That's why. Yeah. Didn't send you that one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I drew
the
line.
smile on his face, he's so
he's so in
proud.
love.
So proud.
Yeah. Yes. He adores that thing. He randomly will come up to me and go, Mum, I just love you so much because you got me Kyle. Oh. I love myself for that too.
Yeah. Pat on the back for me.
Yeah, I did good. Did I?
Oh, the fact that he loves him so much.
I'm glad we're 6 months down the track basically, and it's still as much love there as when he wanted
that's
it.
True. At least he hasn't lost interest.
It's not I got it and then whatever.
How long do axolotls live?
Yeah, I think it's 15 years.
Oh, I think you've said that before. Yeah.
I know, because last night, because he does this thing where he I've had moments where this has concerned me when he say he's not there for the weekend, and I've walked out into the living room and he is floating at the top of the tank, right?
Do they do that?
Well, this one apparently does, because I've literally on a number of occasions done the whole nah, it's been like that for too long. I have to go and touch, like, and I'll put my finger on there, and the next thing it'll flick and, like swim off, and like, thank God, because it actually concerns me, like if that thing died.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did it last night. Like, Brody thought it was hilarious. Oh, look, Mummy's playing dead. And I'm like, yeah, can you please tell him not to do that? Like, yeah. It does some very weird things.
Weird little creatures they are.
Very unusual. And I don't know if it's just this one or what. Because, hey, this is the weird thing it does. He's got, like, plants, like, in there.
Yeah.
Like, fake plants, what have you, to decorate and for him to have to look at. I don't know, whatever they do with them. And, like... Brody will say to me, oh, look, Mum, he's climbed the tree. And he will be. He'll be like
Mounting
the tree.
Like mounting it?
Yeah, kind
like
of.
His
like
little arms wrapped around it? Really? That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
Oh, I think you got a nutcase axolotl.
Well, it also like pulls all the stones from the corners and like makes a mound in the middle too. I don't know if that's normal. It doesn't seem normal.
I actually don't know what is and isn't normal.
No, I really don't. Like, it's really interesting. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, on that note,
yeah.
is it time to move on?
Probably
time
should.
to talk. Actually, I do have some shout outs before we get going for today's case. Well, first of all, okay. We said in a previous episode that we know we've made it because we've got some trolls.
Yeah.
And like they're saying some nasty things and I'm like, oh yeah, we've definitely made it.
Yeah.
People are taking the time to write mean comments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, pat on the back to us.
Yeah.
During the week, we got a buy me a coffee from none other than Steph D'Souza, who was on MasterChef. She's got cookbooks.
Her TikTok is the greatest.
Her TikTok is the best. She's Steph Cook Stuff, Steph _ Cooks _ stuff. She's got the easyrecipegang.com.au. She is an absolute freaking delight.
Oh, she's awesome. Even my fussy kids, I get recipes off her that I can adapt.
I mean,
it's
her
amazing.
air fryer cookbook is actually really good. That's where I learnt to do the roast chicken.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
She is just amazing and all really easy recipes. She's just so engaging and wonderful to watch.
Yeah.
I love her content.
Absolutely.
So when it came through, I was like, oh, this is not her.
It's a fake.
It's a
surely.
fake, surely. But then turns out it's actually her.
It's so exciting.
So shout out, Steph. Thank you so much. Your support means everything to us. If you want to give us a shout out on the socials, we won't say no to that either.
Gosh, no, thank you.
We also had really lovely comments from Jaya Jill Warby. She was in Bali and listening to us as she was walking along the beach. I'm like, bitch,
take us with us.
Can we go with you next time? But also enjoy the warmth because, Australia's cold at the moment.
Yep.
And Cara Jane also with a really lovely comment. So keep them coming. We love it. We love reading everything and we respond where we can.
Yes.
We're getting to most of them, I think.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Except the mean comments.
We just don't respond to the mean ones.
But check them out. It's hilarious.
Yeah. We don't delete them either. They're there.
No. As I say, there is one I have deleted, but it was repulsive. That is the only one.
That was not even...
No.
That wasn't human.
It was not.
No. But all the other sort of trolly ones were like, oh, yeah. Yeah. Go for it, guys.
Go for it. Whatever.
And you know what? Feedback's great. Whether we take it on,
constructive's always better, though.
Whether we take it on or not is also a different story. Everyone's entitled to their opinion.
There are various things we can't change.
Yeah, exactly. Like, one of the things, I think you and I have spoken about this before as well. If you can't change something about a person in 30 seconds, don't say it. It's not helpful. Like, your tag's hanging out, cool, no worries, that's fine.
Fix that. Yeah,
That's fixed in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Anything else that you can't,
go fuck yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
All right, I'll finish my rant now. Today we are discussing, this is a really tough one. So I'm going to go down the trigger warning path. I think it's
definitely
worth discussing the fact that we are talking about infant homicide and from a parental figure, and it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
So I found this one pretty tough to research. So just listen with caution if that's something that you don't feel like you can listen to at the moment.
Agreed.
We completely understand. So today we are talking about the Watts family. So there's Chris, the father, Shanann, the mum, and then there were 2 daughters and an unborn son. So their names were Cece or Celeste.
Yep. She was 3.
And she was only 3 years old. There was Bella, who was
4
at the time, and then Nico, who was still in utero.
She was 15 weeks pregnant.
Yeah. So there's it's an absolutely horrific case. I feel like this is probably one that a lot of people, if they don't know a lot about it, have probably at least heard about it. Because of a lot of this played out on social media, and then also and Shanann had a very big social media presence, but there's also been a Netflix documentary that came out about this family, and it's an interesting watch. I don't know that it really has a complete picture of everything, but I mean it's hard I think it's an hour 20 minutes, like it's hard to include everything.
An easy watch in that it's not long, like that it's not an easy watch in its content necessarily, but like it's
I think they do it well in a short time. It's just there are things that sort of were missed or left out.
But it's obviously it's very factual in the sense that it's not somebody sort of really talking to anything. It's actually footage of, because she had such a big social media presence, there's a lot of footage that they could use from the family and everything itself to sort of give the picture. But there was also, which can be true or not as well, but you can take what you want from seeing those, and but then there's also like body cam footage or interviews, etc., that are included in it. So it's not someone's perspective necessarily; it's factual in that sense of like what's been put out into the world.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
it's very factual. There's no sort of opinions garnered at all. I don't know if you found this in researching this, like all of the absolute varied opinions on the different characters in this case.
Because there is also a mini movie kind of has been done on it as well, which I think that gives a different take, as in it puts forward a lot of like factual in that, like even from watching the videos of the true event, the language that's then used in the movie has been put out, it's very much the same. But then obviously people's acting has put a spin on it, but also the sequence of events might have been changed a little bit as well, I feel.
Definitely. They definitely were.
Yeah. So there's a little bit, that's been taken a little bit of license in there of that. But it's not too bad. Yeah.
I think in terms of content around this, there's so much of it as well because it is a really well-known case, especially in the United States.
Yeah. But I think it's also well-known because there's so much content.
Agreed. It's kind of built on itself. And then obviously the manner by which all of this happened, it's horrific. So it does stand out. I listened to some podcasts that really disturbed me, and I'll talk about this a bit, maybe more towards the end.
Yeah, sure.
And people's takes on things.
Yeah.
I've certainly, you
can go down some rabbit holes on this.
You absolutely can.
Yeah.
I believe what I saw in those videos. I think the way Netflix depicted their what they released as the documentary. I mean, you can't lie about videos.
No, that's the thing. Everything in that, there's nothing that they've presented that's not right.
I don't know how people can then take a different opinion, but then also, Chris has his supporters.
I guess there's because those videos are what Shanann wanted out in the world of their family. And I think this is true of anyone with social media. You can put out in the world what you want people to see. What's actually going on in reality can be very different.
This is the thing with social media. Yeah. Everyone talks about it. You put your best You're not going to put your kid having a meltdown at Coles on well, some people do, but but you put your best foot forward on your social media.
Yes.
And you want people to think that you've got a perfect family or your life's perfect. And I think Shanann definitely wanted people to perceive her in that way.
Well, because, a portion of that being the fact that that was for a business.
Yeah.
She was trying to sell a product.
Yeah.
So therefore, you're not going to be showing, the ugly bits of what's going on when you're trying to sell something.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to that as we get to it in the story. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So we've got Shanann Catherine Rusek, I think is how you say her surname. I'm really sorry if
we get that wrong.
Yes, apologies. She was born on the 10th of January in 1984 in Clifton, New Jersey, to mum Sandra and dad Frank. She has a younger brother named Frankie Jr. I believe he's actually considerably
younger. Yeah, from what I could gather. Yeah, I couldn't get an age on him, but almost could have been like, I want to say
10
10
years. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They grew up, so she grew up in Clifton, New Jersey for a while, and they then moved to North Carolina in Aberdeen, which is a suburb of North Carolina, with her family.
Yeah.
So they, again, I think we say this in so many cases, but it's true of this family. They were quite close growing up. Shanann and her mum, I think her mum was like a smidge spicy, but in a really good way. Wanted the best, wanted, she was involved and wanted the best for Shanann and for Frankie.
Yeah.
And, she was not backward in coming forward when it had to do with her children, but she also was delighted by the fact that, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself actually. So Shanann married a man by the name of Christopher Lee Watts on, what date did they get married? It was in 2010, was it?
2012 they got married. I just can't find the date in my notes now, but it was definitely 2012.
Okay. Oh, sorry, the 3rd of November in 2012 they got married. How did they meet, actually? They met
in a bit of an unusual situation. So Shanann had actually been married previously and it ended pretty poorly.
So she married a man in 2008 named Leonard King. They'd met at primary school, I believe, and then gone through schooling together, kind of just ended up together and just got married. But he's done interviews. He's an interesting
I didn't see any of those. Okay, right.
I think he's tried to capitalise on this situation, to be honest, which is gross.
That's really gross.
It's really fucking gross. But he says, and his sister also has been in, I saw an interview with her as well. She came at it from a very much a compassionate perspective towards Shanann. But Leonard says that their marriage broke down because she worked too much.
Yeah, well, see, other perspectives of that was like that he was a little bit controlling.
Oh, he was very controlling. You can just tell even in the interview that, he had an expectation of her. She wasn't meeting that expectation. And so, that is actually what brought upon the deterioration and eventual divorce.
Yeah.
Right?
So they weren't married for long either. No. Maybe 2 years.
Under 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So weren't married more long. But so then she was she's felt ill actually as well. So she was going through a pretty rough patch. She's been divorced. She's just found out she's got lupus. So before finding that out, it was a long sort of, with many people with medical roundabouts like people get on, was trying to find out what was going on for herself medically. And so with going through all of that, I think one of her friends was like, you should meet my friend Chris. And he ended up like friending her on Facebook, which she was like, well, I've got that many friends on Facebook. What's one more? Who cares?
I think originally she rejected his friend request.
Yeah, right.
And then he refriended her and she was like, oh, well, might as well. Like, I've got 400 friends. So it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah. And then added him and ended up then messaging her. And they chatted a bit over Facebook for a little while before they then went out on a date. But it happened very quickly once they did meet that they did sort of very quickly fall in love and progress to the next stages. And when you see pictures of particularly the wedding and who Chris was when they met and who Shanann was when they met, Shanann didn't really change much, I don't think, in terms of her look or all those sorts of things, whereas Chris made some pretty drastic changes to his look between this point in his life of like just meeting Shanann and courting her compared to when we get to the downfall of all this. Yeah. So he lost a considerable amount of weight, became very fit. And
in some places they say he lost like 70 pounds, some places say 100 pounds, which is a very
considerable amount of weight.
And he was a pretty tall guy.
Yeah.
So he actually carried his weight fine. You wouldn't look at him and go, oh my God, you're 100 pounds overweight.
No.
But you can certainly see there's a really big physical change in him.
So a change in his lifestyle is probably what I'm trying to get at too, more than anything, in that when she met him, he was someone who, he seemed comfortable in his own skin, don't get me wrong, but he's then moved to like real fitness regime, real fitness kind of nut in terms of what he ate. And so between meeting each other and this point, the other end of their relationship, he changed in terms of his perspective of himself somehow.
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It shifted.
Yeah.
It absolutely shifted. So they were married. So he was born on the 16th of May in 1985. So he's about 6 months or so younger than Shanann. Sorry, just really quickly as well. After Shanann and Leonard were divorced, Shanann was actually at the time working for a guy who owned lots of, was it like auto shop repair businesses or something like that. And she was managing all of these sites. And she was earning a really, really good amount of money.
Yeah.
Something like $500,000 a year. She was in her 20s.
So, yeah, and she built her own home.
Yeah.
She was really, because of the breakdown of that marriage, that first marriage, she'd really made a decision for herself of going, well, if I'm on my own, I need to take care of myself. Like, and really I think strived for this, financial freedom of, on her own and being able to.
And independence,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. It was really impressive, like what sort of attitude she had.
From everything that everyone has said, she had an incredible work ethic.
Yeah.
Nothing really stopped her.
No.
She was... For any, positives or negatives that may bring, she was very determined. She always met her goals. She was sort of very much that type A personality where she set her sights to something and she achieved
Yes.
it. So she's earning this $500,000 a year. She built a beautiful home. And this beautiful 4,000 square foot home or something like that, this massive thing. And this was around the time that she then started dating Chris.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he liked the fact that she had money. He didn't come from a family that had a lot of money. In fact, they were sort of very lower middle class family. Money didn't come easily to them, but they also, it's not like they went wanting or anything like that.
No,
they were
middle class.
Fine.
They were
fine.
Yeah.
But then he's sort of gotten into this relationship with Shanann, and she didn't come from a huge amount of money either. It's not like her family were rolling in it. So for her, this was a big deal that she was earning such a significant amount of money and was able to buy her own home and do all of these things.
Yeah.
So, hats off to her.
Absolutely.
So eventually what happened, they decided to move. So they sold the house in North Carolina and they decided to move to Colorado.
Yep.
A lot of this was because, when Chris and Shanann got married, Chris's family did not attend the wedding.
No.
They did not like Shanann at all.
No.
Why? There's no significant reason.
No.
They just did not get along. They didn't like her because they thought she was controlling.
There was a comment where I think it was his sister and his mum decided that they didn't like that Shanann was taking Chris away from them, which I found an interesting statement. That's
fucking weird.
So that was from inner families made that comment. So that his sister and mother did not like that she was taking Chris away from them.
You can get married and still have a relationship with your mum and your sister.
Yeah. Like as in you're supposed to break away to that point of like meeting somebody potentially that you want to spend your life with that's not your mummy and your sister. Yeah.
So but to the point where they didn't even go to their wedding.
Yeah, there was an incident that occurred at that moment, but they then made that choice to then not go to the wedding based on that, which wasn't anything outrageously. They just didn't like that Shanann was making decisions for her wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't help her. Like they offered to help, then they didn't do what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
Which caused conflict, understandably.
Yes.
But then to not go to your own son's wedding, who you obviously love very, very much. Weird.
I mean, because that's a choice.
That's
you know what
a
I mean?
choice.
Like
that is a choice.
It's something that I can't understand that for long term, that is always going to be a mark.
I was going to say that is a choice that then sets up your relationship with that person or those people for the rest of your life.
To me, you kind of go, like, I don't like this, but if I'm not at his wedding,
that's it.
You can't take that back.
No, you can't fix that.
No, that's something where you go, like, your grandchildren who haven't even, not here yet, are one day going to say, but where were you, Grandma and Grandpa, for, like, why weren't you at Mummy's and Daddy's wedding?
Or in the photos.
Yeah. You have to understand that they're the ramifications to that decision.
Yeah, agreed. It's really, really weird.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I think because of a lot of this conflict, they wanted a fresh start.
Yeah.
And they decided to move down to Frederick, Colorado. This happened, I think, in 2013.
Yeah, yeah.
So they moved into a property at 2825 Saratoga Trail. So this house, isn't it beautiful?
It's a really stunning home.
Huge,
Yeah.
lovely. You can see in the documentary they show a lot of the body cam footage from the police officer.
Yes.
But even in a lot of Shanann's videos that are available on Facebook still,
Yep.
show her in the home. It's lovely, really nice. It's in a really spacious area.
Really nice
I would
neighbourhood
imagine,
too.
yeah,
Like you just
perfect for
imagine.
kids.
Yeah.
A lot of newer houses, and so there's a lot of land around. Oh, just looked stunning. And
Yeah.
Colorado, oh yes, it
nice.
lends itself well to an outdoor sort of lifestyle, which I think
Totes.
they enjoyed. They enjoyed being out in nature, and that was part of the motivation to move there, if nothing else.
Yeah.
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 So this was in 2013 that they moved down there. Not long after they moved down, I guess they're, getting everything set up. And Shanann had really good taste, so that even the house was furnished really nicely. That pissed off Chris's mum and dad because they thought she was living beyond their means. And so by this stage, obviously, she'd had to resign from that role that was earning her $500,000 a year. That actually didn't continue very much past their wedding.
Yeah.
And then Chris, his background actually was as a motor mechanic, and apparently he was really good. He even went to what's it called? Not Formula One, NASCAR.
NASCAR, yeah.
He was a NASCAR trainee.
Right.
And only apparently like the top of the top mechanics get to do this traineeship.
Right.
So he was very, very good at what he did, very
Right.
handy, a really good mechanic.
Yeah.
They've moved down to Colorado, and so they don't have kids at this point, but they obviously need to find jobs. They've bought this house. They've now got a mortgage, and they both end up working at the local Ford dealership. And Chris was working as an auto mechanic, and Shanann was working as a salesperson. And according to their boss there, Shanann wore the pants in that relationship. She had a lot of control over everything. She controlled all of their finances and made it known to people. Like, it wasn't as though she wasn't doing it as in like to be controlling necessarily, but they were like, we knew who wore the pants and who made the decisions, and probably a good thing because I don't know that Chris necessarily had his head screwed on properly beyond this time, to be honest with you. So Shanann's working as a salesperson, and she was earning commission at the time, as you do, I guess, in those roles.
Yep.
And she was amazing at
Killing it. Yeah.
Really, really good at it. She had that kind of bubbly personality that people were drawn to. And I feel like just from seeing her in her videos that she posted on Facebook, trustworthy. Like,
yeah.
She doesn't scream car salesperson to me.
No, she was very easy, like, to listen to, she was just someone who's just presented who she was, and that's what you saw is what you got kind of situation. I think she wasn't hiding anything. She was telling it how it was.
Yeah. Well, what she wanted us to see there. But,
that sense. But
having said that, we also get an insight on the Netflix documentary to text messages that she sent to her friends, for example. So that's obviously not at the time publicly made known, and she still comes across with that very easygoing kind of nature.
Yeah.
So that was her.
Yeah.
That was absolutely her. So anyway, they are doing okay for themselves, and Shanann ends up falling pregnant. And Bella was born on the 17th of December in 2013. So she is, she's the light of their lives. Shanann is delighted to be a mum. Now, when I was talking a bit earlier about negative things that I've seen spoken about Shanann, this is one of the pain points for me.
Yeah, right.
I was listening to a podcast. I'm not even going to recommend it because it was horrific. It was absolutely horrible. But this bloke was like, so she has a baby and then she goes straight back to work and lets childcare raise her.
Oh, fuck off.
And I was like, oh, fuck off. He was like, don't you think the mother would want to be home with her child? Oh my God. But there's a lot of this rhetoric on the internet when you look at it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's gross.
It is.
It's fucking gross. Two things.
Yep.
You can be an amazing mum and have a full-time job and your children be in childcare and still be the best mum in the whole wide world. You can be a stay-at-home mum and be with your kids all the time and still be the best mum in the world. You've got to do what's right for you. And I know there are mums who are better mums for working outside of the home.
Yep.
And while that might not work for everyone, there should literally be no judgment. I don't see how this is anything of anyone else's business.
No one else's business, no.
Also, at this stage, Chris wasn't earning a huge amount of money. I think he was earning about $60,000 a year, which by the time you take out mortgage repayments, childcare in the States, I was looking up because I think the girls did go. So Cece was then born. Celeste Catherine, so Cece, was born on the 17th of July in 2015. And the childcare centre that they did go to, I think, was quite a prestigious one. And it cost them $500 a week, no rebates, out of pocket.
Yeah.
I don't think there's rebates like we have in Australia.
Yeah.
$500 a week.
Crazy.
On top of that, so Chris is earning $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
On top of that, they've got a mortgage on this house. They've got, I think they've got like car loans and, all the things that people do when they're establishing themselves. They were still early into their marriage and, all of that by this time. It takes time to set yourself up, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Whatever, like no judgment, but people fucking love to judge, don't they?
Oh, they do.
Around this time, so Shanann, after she had Bella, didn't go back to the Ford dealership because it was just the juggle of that was just too much, I think. So she ended up finding herself involved with an MLM.
Yeah.
So
we all have opinions on those.
So a multi-level marketing, so a pyramid scheme, basically. I mean, we've probably got people listening who are involved in those
but
things.
this is the thing, because when you are trying to manage a family, and do the best in terms of having an income and being the great mum and staying and being at home when you can, it does afford you that if you can do to the level of what Shanann had the ability of. She was genuinely a salesperson by, at heart.
And she was one of the top salespeople in her area. She'd recruited people under her, which is what you need to do to get to the next level.
It's one of these things where, the underlings are the ones that suffer in those systems. I think that, they fork out money to, buy into it or whatever and then lose that money entirely. But those that can climb to the top actually do very well. They're just very few and far between.
That's it.
And so as a system, I can't.
Yep, same.
But I completely understand every female who has ever been sucked into it because, because everyone puts this pressure on mums to have it all.
Yeah, I don't see why. So why isn't Chris being judged for having his kids in full-time
She was the one
childcare?
who could have earned the more money.
She definitely had
So
more
why isn't he being judged for saying, well, why don't you just stay at home, Chris, and let her go and earn her money that she could have earned for the family?
Is fucked. I hope things are changing. I really hope things are changing, but it's slow.
Yeah.
We need to stop it. We need to stop it as a society. Stop fucking mums up. We are doing our best.
Doing more than
our best. You're right, actually. We are fucking killing it. No matter how we're doing it.
I'm sorry, but the roles reverse. A man couldn't do what females do. I'm sorry. Flat out, I'll say it.
Yeah.
No.
Male brains work differently. I'll give them that. And I understand that it wouldn't come as necessarily as readily to a man as it would to a woman. Generally speaking. But honestly, what would they do without us? So Shanann's in this. So she's selling these products called Thrive for a company known as Level.
Yeah.
And is that like level? Multi-level marketing? LE-VEL. I'm like multi-level marketing. So, and she's doing really well. She's climbing that ladder.
This is the patch thing, isn't it?
This is a patch. So I looked it up. So Thrive is still around to this day.
Yeah.
They market these, it's like vitamin and well-being. It's such a well-being supplements. Yeah. And she would wear these patches. They kind
see them in every video.
Yeah. And she'd make sure it was like front and center.
Yeah.
They kind of look a bit like a large nicotine.
They were huge, actually. I don't know whether they've gotten more streamlined since or whatever.
I didn't actually look that
There was a few of them I looked at when you'd see her on the videos and you go, geez, the thing's huge. It's not like it's like discreet.
Oh, no, it's not discreet. No. Some of them are like have bright
colours. Like they're not even going to make them in like skin colours so that people don't notice that you're wearing them. No. It's like, no, we want you to see them because we want you to buy them.
Yeah. So Shanann, I think, did you did discuss just before, like, that she was diagnosed with lupus.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. So
Yeah.
I think that was her motivation for going down this track, because she wanted to get her health back on track. She wasn't feeling a million.
And she actually found these worked for her. So great.
Yep.
That's fantastic. You're selling product that you actually, can
Believe
get behind.
in and you can get behind, and has helped you, which obviously then helped with her sales as well, because she truly did believe in this product, or these products.
Yeah.
They did protein shakes and stuff like that as
Yeah.
well. So
Chris got on those for sure.
Oh, he did. You can see him chugging them in certain videos.
Oh,
so anyway,
can I mention it?
go.
In his thongs.
Ain't no one need to see that.
I'm sorry. We know. we know.
He's an interesting character.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is kind of where they're at now. They've got the two girls, and they're living this, really, from everything that we see on social media. Shanann posts multiple times a day videos. She's editing. She's learning that side of things as well.
Yeah.
She is an early influencer.
Yeah.
You tell yourself, no one wants your college-era band tees. But on Depop, people are searching for exactly what you've got. You once paid a small fortune for them at merch stands. Now, a teenager who calls them vintage will offer that same small fortune back. Sell them easily on Depop. Just snap a few photos and we'll take care of the rest. Who knew your questionable music taste would be a money-making machine? Your style can make you cash. Start selling on Depop, where taste recognizes taste.
This episode is brought to you by Palmolive. Family time isn't just the big moments. It's weeknight dinners, sitting around the table, everyone talking all at once. So when the plates are empty and the sink is full, use Palmolive Ultra. Palmolive's most powerful formula removes up to 99.9% of grease, leaving your dishes sparkling clean. And the new convenient pump makes cleaning even easier, so you can spend less time tackling dishes and more time together. Shop now at palmolive.com.
She's
because it's more Facebook that she was on, wasn't it? It wasn't Instagram world.
No,
it was
just
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was doing a really good job. So
yeah.
The videos were prolific.
Yeah.
And there are so many videos, and it's things of her cooking, her
just getting ready for the morning, and I'm going to do this, and this is what my day is going to be, and real diarising every aspect of her life, basically.
She had a really decent following, and it was increasing. It was growing all the time.
Yeah.
So good on her.
Yeah. Because she was bringing in money for the family.
Yeah, and she was bringing in a significant. She was earning about at this time. She was earning about $80,000 a year to Chris's $60,000.
Yeah. So I mean, they needed both of them working with those kinds of wages for what their life they were wanting to live.
That's right.
But it still wasn't covering. And what I couldn't work out is who, or was it a joint situation that got them into potentially the financial situation they were in?
I don't know.
You can't.
I think it's
one. I mean, Chris blames Shanann, but
we can't hear from Shanann. We don't know.
You don't get her perspective, and you don't know.
So Chris's family blame her as well. They've always said that she spent beyond their means. She always bought expensive things, expensive furniture, had to have the best cars, the newest clothes, the latest of everything.
Which, when you come from earning the money she was earning to now not, I can understand if that was the case, in that, you get into a habit. You live, to your means, or usually beyond. And so to rein it back in, maybe she struggled with that. Maybe that was the issue. But we just don't know.
We don't know. They ended up having to file for bankruptcy, and
they're in about $500,000 worth of debt.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that included any mortgage or not.
No,
it didn't.
So I'm not even sure how this works exactly. But they were able to file for bankruptcy but keep their house separate.
Well, I almost think that maybe the sale of that other house she did build, maybe they didn't owe much on that house that they were living in.
Oh, but they still had a mortgage on the Colorado
They did have a
house.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they did. And that it was actually
significant,
quite a significant amount of money.
Oh, God.
She didn't have her house in South Carolina for that long. So I feel like
maybe
she probably
didn't make
hadn't
a lot
paid
of it.
much off or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they were very cash rich at all.
Yeah.
I think they were asset rich. They were trying to build themselves up.
Yeah.
But they hadn't paid a lot of things off.
Yeah.
It just obviously got
out of
on
hand.
top of them.
Yeah.
So they've filed for bankruptcy, which, that would be a really hard decision to make. But they've sort of tried to start afresh and move on from that.
Yeah, it can be positive to, do that and start afresh potentially.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's not for everyone, but that's anyway. During this time, they're not not trying for a baby, but they're not trying for a baby either.
Yeah.
Chris was pretty adamant that he didn't want another child, whereas Shanann did.
Although he very much wanted a boy.
He did.
He did express his somewhat disappointment in that they'd had 2 children and both girls.
Yeah.
So
Because he wanted only 2 kids.
Yeah.
But he wanted a boy.
So it was kind of this, especially once she did find out that she was having a boy, I think in Shanann's mind that was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Because now having the third is okay because it's going to I'm going to get what I want because I want 3, but he's getting a boy. So, we all win.
Yeah. Do we
But
though?
do we though?
Do we? So Shanann announces this pregnancy to Chris. Now, we have to talk about this because it's so interesting. She videos it, of course, because her life is on social media. She's wearing a T-shirt that says, "Oops, we did it again," and she's holding her positive pregnancy test. Chris comes home from work or wherever he'd been for the day and he walks in and he goes, "Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome."
really? Yeah. It's almost like, is there a
Because
question mark?
because he knows the camera is looking at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That's awesome." And then he looks at the pregnancy test and he's like, "A pink line, does that mean a girl?"
Yeah.
And Shanann says, "No, it's just the colour of the pregnancy test. We don't know yet what it is."
Because then he tries to, I knew that. Kind of thing.
Because he knows everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting picture.
Reaction.
When you sort of, you can surface watch it and go, oh, this is a guy who's sprung with, oh God, I'm going to be a dad and I'm in shock, and maybe I'm responding like, oh my God, yay. I can understand, oh God, I wasn't expecting to walk into that today. Okay. If you don't sort of kind of really back up and go, wait, watch his facial expression.
But also
and
knowing what we know and the tone of his voice.
Tone of the voice and everything, there is definitely a real control in what his response. You can see him kind of wanting to, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. He is not genuinely happy about this.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very early on and it's coming up for summer.
Yeah.
And Shanann decides she's noticed that things between her and Chris have changed. As you mentioned, he'd lost a lot of weight. He was going to the gym a lot, really changed his lifestyle.
Yeah.
He was very focused on what he was eating and making sure he was having, enough protein or whatever it was that he was focusing on at the time. But she also mentioned to girlfriends in text messages, and then girlfriends have actually said in interviews afterwards as well, that he was becoming really distant. She wanted physical affection from him that he wasn't really providing very often. And it was really getting to her. So I think she probably thought maybe a bit of space will do us some good, and I'll take the girls to North Carolina for the summer because my mum and dad are there. We can see the in-laws who didn't really give a fuck. But they had family out there, and Shanann, obviously having spent the majority of her formative years there, she had friends and all of that stuff. So Shanann's taken the 2 girls, and for 6 weeks, I think
they were going for 6 weeks in total.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Chris was going to join them for the last week.
Okay. Yeah, so because her dad flew out to Colorado to then help Shanann fly over with the 2 girls, and then the idea was that Chris would come and join them for the final week and then fly home with them, so that there was 2 adults with the 2 kids kind of thing for the journeys.
By this stage, the girls were
3 and 4. Like, kill me now on a plane.
Oh my God, horrible! I don't know how long the flight was actually.
No, I had to look that up.
But regardless.
Oh, the amount of shit you would have to take. Yeah, just that alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I could completely understand why they organised things the way they did.
Yeah.
So in the documentary, it talks about how once they've arrived in North Carolina, Shanann's trying to maintain contact with Chris. She's FaceTiming him, calling him. She's getting really frustrated with him because he's either not answering his phone, he's not calling when he said he's going to call, he's not
showing any interest in calling. As in, she goes, I just would have thought you would have been calling us every morning and missing us.
Yeah.
And you're not. And he's like, oh, I'll fix that.
But then
it's robotic almost, but then doesn't I meant to do that. Okay. But no, it doesn't.
No. So he's not actually feeling it.
No.
He's just.
And even her calling him out on it, he doesn't seem to, even the responses that she got, oh, no, I do love you, I miss you. As I say, these robotic, what you're supposed to answer responses. But in reality then the follow through on that was not there.
Oh, he never did it.
No.
He never then stepped up. So this made her increasingly frustrated.
Yeah, because it's a roller coaster of, like, I'm angry with him. Oh, the response I get is loving. Oh, I'm getting what I want.
Messages are lovely.
Yeah,
But
if you just read it on surface level again, what he writes back is what she wants to hear. Yeah. Oh, I do miss you. I love you. I can't believe I didn't think to do that myself. And, like really.
I really miss you.
Yeah. So she's actually like getting what she wants and like going, oh, okay, I think we've fixed this and I think we're going to be okay. And then it doesn't happen and down again. But so then she calls him out again and it's like, oh, I get the response I want.
And the messages to her girlfriend show that fluctuation in her attitude too, because in how she's feeling. Because one message to her friend will be like, I just feel like he doesn't want anything to do with me. He doesn't love me. And then the next message she sends to that friend will be like, oh, he's come and he said this and I'm feeling really good now. And I can't believe I was feeling so awful about it. I should have just waited.
That's my fault. I shouldn't have done that. It's what they do to you.
It's what they do. The gaslighting is real and it's horrific.
Yeah.
Chris eventually it comes time for him to go out to meet them and pick them up.
Yeah.
And
that's another video that I find really
interesting. Tell me what you thought about that video.
That's when he arrives at the airport and because she messages him and says to him, like she lines it up. She does always want these videos. Like, and she's tell me when you get to the elevator, the escalator so I can make sure I get the video on for the girls to see when they see you. And so that's all set up that she knows when it's going to happen. So she's recording and the girls, they run over to their dad and he's like, it's almost like pat you on the back.
Yeah,
like, it's really
weird. He hasn't seen them for 5 weeks.
I couldn't imagine being away from my kids for 5 weeks. Oh my God, can you imagine the hug, let alone the fact of your pregnant wife who you haven't seen for 5 weeks, then too on that. And apparently all she got was a peck on the cheek.
Yeah.
No hug at all.
He just looks
stilted,
to be
real.
there.
And
it's
look,
weird.
part of me is like, is it because the camera's on him that he feels like I'm being recorded? Like I'm trying to give him something here. I'm trying
conversation, a natural sort of reaction.
Yeah. So part of me is like, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt a little bit on it. Like I don't know if I'd want to be recorded in every minute of my life and have people judge me for how I've reacted to my kids. But at the same time, I go, I don't see him being able to naturally envelop these kids like that.
No.
Like, I don't know, just every interaction I have seen of the videos of him, it's very stilted still. It's very like, I am meant to do this and I will do that. Like, it's not natural.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Nah.
That night, they go back to actually, just really quickly, in the preceding 5 weeks, at some point it was Cece's birthday.
Yeah.
And they had a party for her and the grandparents, as in the Watts family, didn't come to the party.
Yeah, because so prior to that, I think they'd caught up with them, had caught up.
Yeah.
And what had happened was the mum had given Cece an ice cream. Now, Cece had like really bad allergies. And so really
like
could have
she was
full on anaphylactic
to nuts.
Yeah. And she'd given her an ice cream. And apparently in this ice cream was every one of the allergies that like literally ticked every box of like her not being able to have it.
Pistachio ice cream.
Yeah, it was so not okay for like her to have had it. So luckily Shanann was able to stop it from occurring, which then of course as a mum, she's then the bitch because she's taken the ice cream off her kid and has to deal with all of that. Like, no, it's okay, we'll get you one, but just we can't have that one. You'd have to wait. I can just imagine how hard that would be.
Yeah.
So then his mum has cracked it with Shanann for, making her look bad for not giving Cece the ice cream that she doesn't want. It's like, it's not that I don't want to give it to her. She can't have it. But she could die.
Yeah. Also in the lead up to them going there, Shanann had said to Chris's mum, can you please make sure there's food that the girls can eat and that you don't have any nuts even in the house because even contact can set off a reaction for Cece.
Yeah.
I think Bella had a much milder...
Right, they both had allergies and things, right, which is not uncommon.
Yeah. But Cece was like fully
she was fully,
It was really bad. And the mum completely dismissed
I got the vibe that potentially mum was a bit, whatever, you're being overprotective and these allergies don't actually exist.
Yeah, fuck off. Fuck off.
For anyone who's had a kid or has a kid with allergies, I mean, I had a dairy-free one thank God he grew out of it, after he was like 3. But, I mean, trying to live your life around allergies and stuff is really challenging. And so when you don't even have family on board with helping you do that, that's
I think that was Shanann's issue. When this incident happened, she messaged Chris and said, you need to talk to your mum. This is not okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, yep, don't worry, I'll fix it. That is absolutely not okay. But this conflict then meant that she didn't go to her own granddaughter's birthday party. Like you wouldn't. Because
apparently he did ring his mum and say, you know, what happened. And so from the conversation he had with Shanann, it was, oh, no, I will tell her off, right? The conversation he actually had with his mum was not that. It was what happened. Oh, I see you. Oh, that's really, you know, oh, sorry that happened, mum. Like, you know, and basically enabled her and made out like a little bit of like, yeah, Shannan's gone overboard with that. That's a bit much. Like, so he's playing them off of each other. So then
he just didn't want to deal with it, did he?
No, God, no, he didn't want the conflict. No. So it was like he just appeased each of
both
them,
sides.
Which that's not okay. You're meant to be on the side of your daughter. If anybody in this situation, like forget the two adults in this. Your poor kid could have been very ill, if not dead. So you have to stand up for her. No, you can't because you're a weak piece of shit.
Totally. So, yeah, sorry, I just wanted to mention
but that was the mum then, like, it's not like Shanann said, tell your mum she can't come to the party.
Oh, no.
That was not, they just didn't rock up.
Yeah, and she sent a message to Chris during this party and said, oh, interesting, the Watts family haven't shown up yet or something like that.
Yeah.
And he didn't respond to that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Chris has gone, picked them up and brought them back to Colorado.
Yeah.
A day or the next day after getting back?
Yeah, it was pretty soon after. I couldn't find the dates exactly when they arrived back and when she left again.
But following day, Shanann actually was leaving out of state again.
Yep, to Arizona.
For a Thrive
conference. Kind of, yeah, like so exec conference or something. Yeah,
yeah, because she was so high up.
Yeah,
she was at the pointy end of the pyramid. So she and one of her friends named Nicole Atkinson. Oh my God! If this story has a hero, Nicole Atkinson is the hero.
Everyone needs a friend like Nicole.
Everyone needs a Nicole.
Yeah,
everyone needs a Nicole.
Yeah.
So Nicole Atkinson has picked up Shanann and taken her to the airport. They've gone on this Thrive weekend away. Shanann is really unwell when she's there, really, really sick, to the point where she can't get out of bed, she can't attend the conference, and they're really sort of worried about her because they know she's early pregnant, or at this stage she was about 15 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
And they were concerned that there was something potentially going on. We'll discuss later on what that could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, they attend this conference. Now, I don't know, this happens to me and Peter and I have like funny banter about it, but I can see how toxic this could actually be in a situation like this. Our bank account, anytime either of us spend money on it, it pings on our phone. So I'll be like, oh,
what are you doing?
Having a pint at the pub, are we? Or, you know, oh, what did you just buy from Kmart? Or why are you a Bunnings?
Or like when I paid you back the other day for the Costco run and wrote in the comments of what you purchased for me and I was paying you back for smelly balls.
Yeah. Peter actually told me to tell you that I don't need smelly balls because I've got enough of them in this household already.
Exactly. I was going to ask, who's smelly balls? By the way, they're the laundry detergent, like laundry smelly things.
I didn't buy her a scrotum from Costco. No. Although you can buy pretty much anything else at Costco.
Pretty much everything other than a scrotum, yeah. But you can buy smelly balls.
Yeah. So anyway, they had a similar setup. And this on the night that, so Chris was looking after the two girls at the time.
Well, he wasn't looking after. He was being a father. Sorry, I'm going to call you.
Oh, yeah, no, please. You're absolutely right. He wasn't babysitting. He was fathering his children.
Fathering, yeah.
And so, but that particular night, he messaged or called Shanann and said, oh, I've just been given tickets to, I want to say it was like a rodeo or something like that.
Or was it Coldplay? Sorry, just...
Oh, God, I love it. Some of those memes are amazing. And I love all the people who are recreating it and doing it. It's just
There's
gold.
some really good ones.
So good.
It was the Epstein and Trump one.
I love it. I love it. It's so good. So anyway,
sidetrack.
And Shanann's like, oh, that's fine, but you're going to need to obviously book in a babysitter. And they had a babysitter that they used, so Chris organised all that. He's supposedly, I think it was a rodeo. It might have been a footy game, a football game or something. I can't remember, but whatever. He actually wasn't there. He was at the Lazy Dog or something
Lazy Dog
like
Cafe
that.
or whatever. Yeah.
And he paid...
Real classy joint.
Oh, yeah. You look at the photos of it and you're like, oh, yeah. Date material.
Yeah.
Paid $68 or $62 or something like that for a meal.
Yeah.
And so she messages him and she's like, how have you paid $62 for one person's meal?
Because she did
and
look
why
up
are you not at the... Yeah, her friend Nicole, I think, looked up the establishment.
Yeah, she looked
was
up the
like,
menu online and went, like, if you bought a beer, because he said he had a beer and salmon.
Yeah.
Which she was like, if you had a beer and a meal, she couldn't find a combination of a beer and any meal that would be more than like $35
Yeah.
for one person. So she was like, and the thing is, what a dick, learn how to lie. Like, all he needed to say was, oh, yeah, my mate paid me cash and I paid for both of us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, that'd be believable.
And you'd be like, oh, yeah, fair enough. On the way
Whatevs.
back from wherever you were, you've decided to stop the meal. But also the timing didn't work out. So immediately Nicole was sus. He's like, she was like, he's meant to be at whatever this thing is.
Yeah.
He's not there. He's paid double what I would have expected him to pay for a meal.
Yeah.
What the fuck is actually going on? I think she had an inkling before this anyway.
She was certainly like going. I think she'd even had asked him saying, like, "Are you having an affair?" Like, because she was of the opinion, like, if you're not getting sex from me, where are you getting it?
That's the other thing I was going to say. When he got to North Carolina to pick them up, she was texting a friend because she's like, I went and had a shower, and that was like
That's
a
the
sign
indication
to me,
to
him that he should have
He
come
knows.
in.
He knows that when I do that,
Yeah.
that means sex
I
is on
want
the table
sex.
tonight. Like, yeah.
Instead, he was doing some fucking push-up challenge while she was having a
That's-
shower.
yeah, that's right.
She then gets into bed and tries to initiate sex, and he fully rejects her, turns over, and she's devastated. She's like, I haven't seen him for 5 weeks. We haven't had sex for more than 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And he just rejected me. Like,
Yeah.
that would have felt awful. That would have felt horrible. So she's texting a friend at the time telling her a blow by blow of all of this.
Yeah.
And her friend's basically going back, going, look, he's probably just tired. He's been traveling all day. Like, really trying to, I guess, comfort her by making excuses
Yeah, sort of
for
making,
him.
yeah.
But for the entire time they were in North Carolina, they
No
did
sexual
not have
relations.
sex. So they come back. They go on this Thrive trip. The cafe incident happens.
Yeah, she's like, what is going on?
What the fuck's going on? They arrive back so her and Nicole arrive back very early in the morning on Monday, the 13th
2
of
a.m.
August.
She drops Shanann off at her place from the airport.
Yep. And now this is Chris's account of what happened next.
Yeah.
We obviously don't have Shanann's account. What he says happened is, and look, there's some evidence to show that some of this is true. She's dropped her bags at the front door. She's gone upstairs. It's fucking 2:00 in the morning. She needs to go to bed. Now, the other thing that's worth noting at the minute is that the following day that day actually, because this is in the very early hours of the morning.
Yeah, on the
it was
13th of August.
It was Cece's first day of kindergarten.
Oh, right. I wasn't aware of that.
It was.
Right.
So while Shanann was in Arizona, she texted Chris and said, can you please make sure this, and this are packed in the bag because I'm going to have to get up and take them straight to their first day tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Actually, it was Bella's. It was Bella's
Bella's
first
the
day
older
of
one.
kindergarten. Sorry,
Because we're coming home, like, this is
older one.
Sunday night, Monday morning. She's actually arriving home.
Yes.
So it's Monday at 2 a.m.
Yes.
that she's arrived home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and that is the morning that her child is starting kindergarten, which is like prep for us.
Yeah.
In Australia. Okay, so that's setting the scene. That's a very important day.
Yeah.
That's a very important thing to attend.
Oh, special day. Bloody
Very
special day.
Great day.
I can't.
So
that's actually
it's
thrown me that's
I know, right? It's a milestone.
I did not know that. Yeah.
Okay. According to Chris, Shanann goes upstairs. She gets into bed and they have sex.
Yeah.
Shanann then falls asleep and Chris, I think, does much the same. One of the children then comes into their room because they've had a nightmare or something. Mm-hmm. And according to Chris, Shanann strangles that child to death.
Well, his first account of all this was that didn't happen too. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
So we need to probably
ahead.
go back. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
No.
It's just I don't even know when
I know.
to say what because
Yeah.
there's so much shit in this story.
Yeah.
Shanann then is, so then the the other child comes in, and because Shanann's killed this child, she has to kill the other one. So strangles the other child. And then because Chris is so enraged that this happened, he had no choice but to kill Shanann. Okay, few things here. Shanann... Oh, I'm probably getting too far ahead of myself now, am I? I don't even know where to, like, insert the story. So, okay, let's stop that bit there. What we then know is the next morning, this we know for sure, not only was Bella meant to be attending her first day of school, Shanann had a doctor's appointment to check up on her pregnancy. And because she wasn't feeling well over the weekend, that was obviously something that she and Nicole had discussed about being like a really important thing that she needed to attend. So much so that Nicole had offered to take her because it was important and she was worried about Shanann. Chris wasn't going to be going to this appointment.
Because he was working.
That's fine. Nicole tries to call Shanann that morning. So she's dropped her off at 2 a.m. In the morning, she's like, okay, she would have dropped Bella off at school by now. I'll give her a call and see how she's going, see how she's feeling, see if she wants me to take her to the doctor's appointment. Yeah. Can't get in contact with Shanann. This is a woman who lived on her phone.
Yeah, literally.
Had her phone all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, so she was texting her, calling her, like it sporadically, it sort of starts off like, with gaps between the times, but then just gets, more intense in terms of trying to contact her. She realises this is not normal. Like there's something wrong because she actually ended up calling the doctor's surgery and to say like, has she been to her appointment?
Breach of privacy because they were like, no, she actually didn't rock up.
No, she didn't turn up. But anyway, so she's like, well, holy shit, like now what the hell? That's not right.
She then called the school. Bella had not gone to school. Now, this is on her first day.
That's, whoa.
And Nicole says that was it for her.
Yeah.
She then rings Chris while she's on her way over to their house.
Yeah.
And says to Chris, I don't know what's going on. I can't get a hold of Shanann. She didn't go to her doctor's appointment. Bella hasn't turned up at school. What is going on? And he's like, oh, they're at a play date. And she was like, with who?
Yeah.
And Chris is like, oh, I don't know. Friends? I don't know. I don't know specifically who it is, but I know they're on a play date.
Yeah, he's like, I left for work early this morning. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And Nicole's like, well, no. I would know her because they'd not that long moved to Colorado. I mean, they'd been there for a few years, but Nicole knew her well enough that she's like,
she knew all her friends.
Yeah. They all had mutual friends.
Yeah.
And anyway, so Nicole arrives at their house and she looks in the garage, which had a window, and sees that Shanann's car and the girls' car seats are in the car still. And she's like, I know her. She would never go anywhere without the girls in a car seat, which you wouldn't with a 4 and a 3-year-old. Awesome mum.
Yep. Yeah.
And nobody should do that. And I'm not saying anyone does, but, Then Nicole is panicked. She's like, I can't rouse her. I can't. No. I'm worried that something bad's happened to her inside because she was really sick while we were away. And
she's really concerned about it. Like in terms of
she rings Chris again and says, "You need to come home. Her car's here. I can't get inside.
There's no one answering the door. Like I can't see any movement. She couldn't see anyone in there.
The dog, was it?
I think so. Yeah.
So anyway, he's like, well, I can't get home for an hour and a half or something like that, even though he was 20 minutes away, I think, at work. So to Nicole's credit, she calls the police. Yeah. And you can hear the 911 call. It's in the documentary. You can just hear it online as well. It's readily available. Yeah. And she's like, look, when she rings, you're like, oh, she doesn't know if she's doing the right thing. Yeah. But little does she know she was 100% doing the right thing. Yeah. And she says, oh, I just want somebody to come and do a welfare check on my friend. She explains the situation about the car, about her not attending at the appointment, having called Chris and he's not coming and not whatever.
We can't get in the house.
And to the credit of the police department, they send someone around pretty quickly. It was about 2:00 that day, 1:40 p.m.
Yeah, it was a little bit, yeah.
1:40 p.m. This police officer, he was great.
He was really lovely. And you could sense that he was like
Not sure.
I'm with you on this that we need to check this.
So what he does say to Nicole, and you can see his body cam footage, which is awesome footage actually, as in like the quality of it.
Yeah, some of them are terrible and you cannot hear them properly or whatever.
It's good for what you get a lot of out of it.
You do.
He says to Nicole, I actually can't go in without the homeowner's permission. So
he said if we could see, say, her laying in the floor there through the window, I can break in because, you know, like, but we can't do that unless we have permission. If we can't see anything that would cause us to concern for the person necessarily, then I can't go in.
Yeah.
So they were sort of like, what do we do here?
Yeah.
And there was a neighbour next door just stuck his head out kind of, I guess, you know, you see the police car pull up next door. You're like, what's going on here? Like as if you wouldn't be out the window.
Yeah. I'd be so, sticky beaky for sure.
But the guy next door goes, well, I've got cameras on, you know, my house that you know, face out. So I see pretty much everything that goes on in the street. If you want to come and check it out and see if there's anything on that, you know, which I don't know, I feel like I get a vibe then from this guy, the next door neighbour, that it's he's like basically, you know, there could be something in this. I don't know.
He actually says that.
He says it, but even we'll get to it. But like, I think prior to seeing Chris, even like for him to say, you know, you know,
you might want to come and
check what I don't know what's on the cameras, but come and have a look because you probably. There could be something.
But in that time, Chris gets home. So then he gains access to the house and lets the police officer's like, can I come in and have a look around? And he's like, yeah, I mean,
sure. Immediately his behaviour when he pulls up is like he shakes the police officer's hand and everything, but he doesn't like...
He's not panicked.
He's not panicked in any way, shape or form.
You know, his wife and 2 children are missing.
And the way he even like strolls through the garage and he doesn't like sort of explain to the police officer, I'll go in through here and I'll let you in through the front door or any of that. They're kind of left standing there
going like,
what the fuck are we doing? Like he's literally just walked past it, shook the hand, but then just continued walking as if they're not there almost. Like it's really weird. Weird behaviour to me. And like...
And so Nicole and her teenage son are there at the time as well. So they're led into the house by Chris.
Yeah.
And they go straight upstairs because that's...
The cop sort of says... Chris is just sort of wandering a little bit. He's not really like... frantically going like, Nicole, sorry, I mean Shanann, you know, like calling her or anything. Are you in here? Like nothing like that. He just sort of strolls, and so the cop turns to him and says, you know, can we just have a look upstairs in case she's passed out somewhere? Like I think he's trying to get a reaction to see what's going on. And he's oh yeah, sure, go for it. Like he's creepily casual.
Yeah, and then the police officer says to him, we need to, like, can you let me know, is there anything missing? Is there anything out of place? Has anything been moved? And he goes into the girls' bedrooms and he's like, oh, their blankets are missing. Their favourite blankets are missing. They then go into Nicole goes into the master bedroom and she finds Shanann's phone.
She finds the phone shoved between a couch cushion or something in there.
Oh, was that up in that upstairs landing area?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the weirdest fucking thing is the master bed is stripped.
Yes.
No sheets on the bed.
No. And Chris then also walks out and really weirdly just goes, oh, and her wedding ring.
Yeah.
It's really, it's creepy the way he does it.
It's so creepy.
You can see the cop kind of going, and what do you make of that?
Yeah.
And he's like,
does she normally take her rings off?
Yeah. And he's like, no.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Interesting.
It's really weird.
It's so weird. So
weird.
the cop is then looking around. They actually bring more police officers to the site because obviously this cop's got his spidey senses like this. There's something not right here.
Yeah.
He then goes next door to that neighbour and the cop goes in first and then Chris comes probably like 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
And they're watching the footage and...
Well, I think he almost sort of has to say to him, hey, do you want to check this out and see what's on this footage?
But because he's not looking at the camera he's not looking at the TV where the neighbour's playing the footage because he's fucking petrified that it's going to show something. That's right.
Well, that's actually what it doesn't show.
That's right.
Which really gives it away, I think.
Yeah, for sure. What you can see though is his truck
about what is it
5:27 a.m.
Yeah.
He was spotted backing up his truck into his garage, and
which the neighbour says like he never does that. Like, and this guy clearly like watches his street.
I love it.
I love a neighbour like that.
Yeah. And he's like, he never does that.
Because he goes, I sometimes do that to load my tools in. And he just goes, afterwards, he goes, he never does that. He doesn't load his tools in from there.
No, he doesn't take tools.
He doesn't take tools.
To work. No. So anyway, that ends up becoming pretty significant in terms of evidence later.
Because what you don't see is all this footage, because the guy then goes, so you see the car pull off from him like backing up and loading his car with tools. He then pulls off and drives off to work. What you don't see then, he goes, there is no more footage of anyone coming out of that house. Shanann, Bella and Cece are not seen exiting that house.
He went through the footage for the entire day up until that point.
Yeah.
Shanann never left.
So, yeah.
How did they get out?
So, and I love the footage of the police officer then of like, so Chris, like he watches that and they go, oh, thanks for that, thanks for showing us the footage. And they sort of let Chris go leading out first. And the cop just goes, oh, I just want to get some details off this guy. You go ahead, to get him out of it. Fuck off. Like, no. And he turns to the guy and the neighbour just goes, there's something wrong here. He's acting so weird. He goes, he's normally weird, but that's extra weird.
Yeah, and he's like, he's really jittery and he's not normally jittery. He's normally really confident.
Yeah. Yeah. And the cop's like, he rightly so, he goes, look, can't judge a person in these moments. Like different people react differently. But I'm aware of what you're saying and I appreciate it. Like, he's like, we're all on the same page here. There's definitely something here that we need to be looking into. Yeah.
So what the police ended up doing, I think was this the same day or was it the next day that they brought the cadaver dog in?
Oh, I don't know what day that was. No,
I think it was the next morning, very early the next morning. They bring a cadaver dog in. They bring crime scene investigators because they're like, well, this is the last place that they were seen. As in Shanann, like Nicole knows she dropped Shanann off at 2 o'clock
and
in the
then
morning.
she's on the video camera, like on the doorbell camera. They see her arriving home.
We know she's definitely
and she's walked through that door. Yeah,
her bags are in the house as well.
Yeah.
So there's further evidence that she's there.
Yeah,
and then obviously the next door neighbours footage of them never having left the house. So this is a crime scene. Something has happened here. To their credit, they get straight on top of it.
Yeah.
So they also then need to interview suspect numero uno, Chris Watts, and they bring him down to the police station.
Yeah.
And they start talking to him. I find the interview really interesting, and the fact that humans are so... We're all the same at the end of the day. I'm not saying we're all murderers or anything like that, but the way we react to things is that there's just such a human element to certain behaviours and that kind of thing. And that is what these police officers are relying on in these moments.
Absolutely.
Which I do find it very, very interesting. So the next morning, I think the Frederick police?
Yeah.
Is that who were the principal investigators, I think, initially? They then ask for assistance from the FBI because they realise they've got something major happening here. They obviously don't know yet what's going on, but they need somebody to come and help them, figure out exactly what's happening and how we can get Chris Watts to speak.
Yeah, because the only thing he does speak like to the media at this point too. You watch those and
watch it.
It's really he's so numb like to emotion whatsoever. You notice that the language that he uses is very like how it's impacted him, that the children aren't there.
He also uses very distancing language.
Yeah.
He says, instead of saying my girls, he says those girls.
Yeah.
He doesn't show any emotion. Now, I know people will say, you don't know how you're going to react in that situation, and I fully agree with that, but you can't tell me that you've lost or something's happened to your 2 daughters and your pregnant wife that you wouldn't be distraught.
Yeah.
this was the next day as well. So he's had time. It's the shock.
Well, he talks
it.
about the fact of like, oh, it was, and like talks, not like emotional, wasn't it? He just speaks as like, because like it was really odd last night being here on my own, and I didn't get to see the girls, and it's real weird.
It's so weird. And he says, I did write down a quote because this just shows. I don't know how detached he is.
Yeah.
If somebody has her, please bring her back. Which her? You've got 3 hers missing.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here.
Yeah.
Not without my family here.
Like I need my kids. Like
it's
yeah,
so
like
fucking bizarre.
I really very odd. Yep.
Yeah.
So in the meantime of like between this and sort of this next step, that they receive a phone call from a colleague of Chris's that she had discovered some emails, prior to all this occurring, where she realised that Chris was having an affair with another colleague by the name of Nichol Kessinger. So this person, unbeknownst to Nicole or Chris, sort of thought, I think this information is relevant. So they actually contacted the police and said, he's having an affair with someone from our workplace. So he worked at a place called Anadarko Petroleum. And so it was a fairly somewhat large company, wasn't it? Like yeah,
absolutely.
So a lot of employees, but this is sort of a HR-ish kind of person, I believe, who has had some access to emails and stuff like that, who knew this information. And she was like, I just need you to know. So they were aware that there was that. And obviously with everything else adding up, they were kind of like, he's not come forward and said that he's having an affair or seeing someone. They'd given him opportunities to say those sorts of things in the previous interview, but that hadn't occurred. So their next tact was to basically sort of flush him out without letting him know of any other information they had. Because I think prior to this, they also said to him, had a phone call from Nicole. Unbeknownst to Nicole, they already knew about the affair from the colleague.
Yes.
So Nicole thought she was ringing off of her own bat. Well, she apparently got wind that someone might know about their affair. So she was like, oh, I better ring the cops.
Be on the front foot, yeah.
So she rang the cops going, I just want you to know I'm in a relationship with Chris, and with this going on, maybe you should know about that as well. So they'd had both that confirming of that relationship. So they bring him in for a chat. And this is where the FBI brought in, obviously, to do this. And they bring along with them an agent by the name of Agent Lee.
Tammy
Lee, who is a polygraph expert. And they put it to him and say, look, why don't we do a polygraph? Like that'll mean that we all know the truth, that not just you know the truth, we'll know the truth too. So the idiot agrees to this, which they give him every out to say no. Like they don't tell him he hasn't got a choice in this. I find that as well very interesting, the way they spoke to him about it.
Yeah,
she's very good at her job.
She's very good at her job, as is her colleague Graham Coder.
Yeah.
They really sort of befriend. They befriend him, and they sort of go about talking to him like they've got his best interests at heart, and they're amazing at their job. Watch the interviews because they are really good.
Yeah.
When he agrees to do the polygraph, I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? He didn't.
She says it to him of like, once we do this, we'll know either way.
Well, she what I love about it is she walks into the room when she's administering first. So it's just him and her in the room. She walks into the room and she goes, you know what I love about polygraphs? I love it that at the moment there is one person in this room who knows the truth. And by the end of this, there'll be 2 of us. And I wish you could see his face because he's kind of like shouldered turned to the camera. So you can't actually see his
I wanted to see his facial expression so bad.
It's so good.
Yeah, yeah.
But she calls him on his shit.
But this is the thing. This is a moment where I go, you narcissistic piece of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
You 100% think you can beat a polygraph.
Yep, he does.
He thinks he can beat it.
Otherwise he wouldn't have agreed to do it.
What a dick.
What a dick. Oh, but then, you reap what you sow, you fuckwit.
Yeah, yeah.
So he sits down and she goes, you're going to need to actually calm down a bit because I can't get good readings. And then sort of she establishes the baseline and does some basic questions. And then she asks him, Did you murder Shanann? No. All the things going fucking crazy. And anyway, it continues on like that.
Yeah.
And anyway, so she concludes the polygraph. She walks out of the room. She's like, I'll be back.
Just need to confirm some things with my colleague.
hold tight. I'll be back.
Basically walking out going, we both know.
Yeah. Now I know for sure.
Yeah, motherfucker.
So Agent Lee and Agent Coda, they go back in the room and Tammy basically says, well, you know you failed that.
Which he doubles down.
Yep.
No. Like, I didn't do anything.
He's like, I did not do anything.
They have to, like, they spend a lot of time going to him saying, like, mate,
but you
stop.
Did it. Yeah. We know you did it.
Categorically, look, and then because then his tact is he says, look, I'll fess up. I've had an affair. That's why the polygraph failed, because I'm nervous about you finding that out, and I should have told you about that before. And they're like, no, that's not how this works. We didn't ask you anything about that because we already knew about that.
Yeah, I love it. Like we give a shit about your affair.
We don't actually care. Like we knew about that. We didn't ask you about that on purpose. No, these questions all related to Shanann and the girls, and you failed it. You have done something to them. We need you to talk.
And we need to know where they are. We need to find them.
Yeah.
It will be better for you. It'll be better for everyone. They deserve to be found.
So this is when he concocts his story of that.
Well, he asks to see his dad at that point. So they've said, your dad's actually flown here.
Now, the other thing I feel like happens here as well is prior to him saying, like, can I talk to my dad? I think it's Tammy Lee. She says something around the lines of, like, tell us what happened. Like, did Shanann do something to the girls or did you? And I feel like she leads him.
Definitely.
I actually, in watching it, really didn't like her wording.
That is the only criticism I have of her.
Yeah.
Because otherwise she handled everything exceptionally.
I feel like she led him there.
But I think she was trying to give him
every out.
An out or something to go on so that he would at least say something.
Yes. And maybe it's a tactic. I don't know.
Out.
Because even on that, I mean, she kind of, like, in this scenario, the bodies aren't there. So he's clearly done something with the body. So I guess, like, she could then go, right, well, we'll get him on that as minimum and then we'll work out the rest later. I don't know. Maybe it was a tactic. But
I figure that's probably what it was. Yeah. They're experts.
Yeah, this is it. Maybe that was a tactic.
Even a partial confession's probably better than no
none.
confession.
True.
So he does ask for his dad. His dad comes in, and what they actually say to him. Now, by the way, he's not under arrest at this point. He could walk out at any time. He hasn't been read his Miranda rights at this point. So he's ignorant to the fact that he doesn't actually have to be there. He doesn't have to answer
this man
any
who thinks
of their
he's
questions.
more intelligent than everyone in that room is so much not.
He could have lawyered up, but chose not
Never
to.
did. No.
Fine, that's on him. That's his choice because he is smarter than everybody else. So what would you need a lawyer for? His dad. So when the agents say, look, your dad's flown in, he's here.
Yeah.
Would you? And he's like, I want to talk to my dad. And they're like, that's fine, but you need to tell him what you've done.
Yeah, they do, like, sort of plant it with him of, like,
they say, we're not letting you see your dad, basically.
Yeah.
Unless you tell him what you've done.
This is your chance to do that way. If you want to tell him instead of us, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, like, they obviously leave the camera running and all of those and everything, and so they do get the confession to dad.
Yeah. So Ron walks into the interrogation room, sits down next to Chris, and holds his hand because now. Think about what this poor man's going through too. He's got missing grandchildren. His daughter-in-law, who granted he didn't like, but there's something going on there. Obviously his son is implicated in some way.
But I still find, I really get a bit,
yes.
He immediately jumps on this idea of Shanann doing something wrong and takes every opportunity to blame her. Oh, it would have been her. Yeah, 100%. That's absolutely what happened. Yeah. Wouldn't have been you.
Yeah.
You dick.
You dick. So Chris basically then says to him, I did it. But he's like, when I saw the girls, they were blue, and I
went into a fit of rage.
I had to make it right, is what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like he sort of makes out even like not even that he was trying to stop her from doing what she was doing and hurt her. It's like, oh, I couldn't have like let her do that to the girl, so I had to do it to her now.
Yeah.
Like she had to understand.
That's literally what he says. I mean, not the understand bit, but he basically says that.
Yeah.
And his dad's like, oh, well, basically, what choice did you have?
Oh, well, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
But what did he actually do?
That's not what happened.
That's not what
and
happened.
So the other thing was at that point they say to him, well, where did you put them after that? And he explains that he loaded them into his truck, which is why he backed it up to the garage there, and he's taken them to where he'd been working at these petrol tanker things.
Massive petrol tanks.
They're massive.
Oil tanks, yeah.
So the cops do go out and they do find the bodies, and they find the I think I have a funny feeling I couldn't find a timeline exactly on this, but I actually think that they found the bodies prior to him actually.
They did.
Yeah.
So what actually happened was when the person from Chris's work contacted them, they were like, oh, well, we've got you on the phone. Can you tell us where Chris was working that day? Because his account was that he went to work at 5:50 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to check it out. They actually sent up a drone.
Yes.
And they saw soil that had been disturbed. And when they pulled back the soil, so they weren't necessarily, I mean, obviously they were looking, but they found the blanket that matched the pillowcases that were on the bed. And they were like, oh, this is a grave. They then obviously make it into a crime scene and the coroner comes out.
They didn't know where the girls were, though. They only found Shanann's body at that point.
In a shallow
like,
grave.
Yes.
It was only Shanann's body, and unfortunately, this is hard, but the expelled fetus of Nichol was in that grave as well.
Yeah.
So,
Ugh,
that's horrible. Absolutely horrible. But yes, you're right that at this point of this interview, they actually don't know where the girls are still.
No. So he in that interview process, they do say to him, well, then tell us what you've done with them. And he says that he took them and put them in the tankers, and there was one in each of the two tanks, which
that is
just gross.
So bad.
Yeah. So that's the story he goes with at that point. It's not until after all of this, way after him being tried, or not tried because he pleads guilty, but that he actually confesses to the actual story that happened. We'll get to that then. But yeah, so at this point they're basically they charge him with the murders of all three of the children, the two children and Shanann, and also of Nico, and also to do with the disposing of the bodies too, I believe. So the charges were quite extensive. And so thinking, though, that he's telling the story as if Shanann killed them, I was a bit surprised that he went and what he did, but he ended up pleading guilty to all the charges. So that I think that's where the cops went, well, you're admitting then, like you did kill them, not Shanann. So they did follow up with him afterwards to try and get the actual story. But the thing was, what happened was because in Colorado there's the death penalty, that he ended up having a plea deal that the death penalty came off the table. So that's where he ended up with 5 life sentences.
Yep.
So in the follow-up, the 2 FBI agents who, I think out of the idea of we need closure on this ourselves, if nothing else, and the families need it, that they followed up with him in jail and sat him down and said, right, come on, tell us actually what happened. Which is, as awful as the story he made up, the true story is fucked up.
Oh,
it's so beyond awful. He is just... psychologically, I just don't understand where.
Well, he's a family annihilator.
This is it. At the end of the day,
look, there's talk about. This was never diagnosed in him that he was autistic. Not that has any bearing on whether he's a murderer or not. I think maybe some of his emotional detachment that can be explained potentially by
psychologists looking at a lot of it have said that there is a combination of narcissism and psychopathy.
Yep.
And so there's that combination, which there is a lot of overlap between the two, but that removal of being able to show empathy, but also have any emotion naturally means that he can do these things without thinking about them.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So yeah, he admits in the end that he woke apparently after them having sex that night. He was then tossing and turning in terms of this, but I've got Nicole, his piece on the side. And he just ended up waking her up and having an argument with her about that he wanted the relationship over, so this is his take, whether that's how it happened. We can't verify that. But he was basically saying that, I need to end this relationship. And she was upset and angry about that. And so his reaction to that was that he ended up strangling her. So then he's got this body there, and one of the girls woke up to hearing this noise. So with I think it was Bella that woke up and came to the room. It was Cece, was it?
Yeah.
Came to the room and saw Mum on the bed in that state, which, God, that's just awful. So what is his reaction to that? He wraps up Shanann, lays her into the back seat on the floor, the footwell.
So he's got like a twin cab ute.
Yeah.
And he puts her on the floor of the footwell.
And then puts the two girls in the car with their mum.
With their feet dangling over their mum's dead body.
Can you just imagine those girls? Like that he says that they were crying and asking, is Mum okay? To which he just
sleeping.
She's fine, she's sleeping. So he drives them all the way out to this work site, buries Shanann with the girls still sitting in the car. And at this point is when he decides he needs to get rid of them too. That is just uncomprehendable.
Well, that's psychopathic.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I don't
get any of it. Is it because
they
saw something and he thought they would implicate him like they were his fucking kids?
He didn't even have the forethought to somehow protect them from what they saw.
You're right, yeah.
Like it doesn't none of it makes any sense. He never thought, I don't think about any, as much as I do believe there's some premeditation to this.
Oh, there definitely was.
Absolutely. But at the same time, he didn't think it was very poor premeditation, if I can say it that way.
I think he thought it through to the point where he was like, okay, I'm going to kill her, because he couldn't afford to get divorced, to be honest. They didn't have enough money. They were in so much debt. There's no way they could afford to have two houses, still school the girls at this prestigious school and childcare place that they were going to. He couldn't have afforded it, and he wanted to start this new life with Nicole.
Yeah,
and this was
without having to try too hard.
Yeah, and this was the only way out. So I think you're right. I think it was premeditated in that he knew he was going to kill her, but he hadn't then thought through any of the details or any of anything else.
And how much he'd thought through of like what he was going to do with these girls. Like to stand there and he literally just took one after the other, strangled them. Apparently, I believe it was Bella fought pretty hard. Fucking go girl.
Yeah.
He strangled both of them and put one of them each in one of the tanks.
Now, these oil tankers, they're massive, massive. Just Google them because you can
see the site. Yeah.
They had to drain them to get the girls' bodies out, and it was like a massive production to drain these oil tanks to find the girls. He would have known that putting them in there would really degrade their bodies, and they did. They were... I actually read all three autopsy reports. Nico's autopsy report was included with Shanann's. So Shanann was probably not strangled. More than likely she was actually suffocated. So they don't think that his account of that is accurate.
Because the other thing is that they say, well, a particular dad comments around that what we know of her in generally, she was feisty as. Yep. There is no way that if she was awake would she have not fought him. And there was no defensive wounds. No. So he believes that she was asleep and that he's done that to her in her sleep. Her.
Yeah. And the evidence shows that too. There was no petechiae, the red blood dots that you would expect from somebody who'd been strangled. Her hyoid bone was intact. And like all indications were that she actually wasn't strangled. The girls were.
Yeah.
I just actually can't.
No.
I just actually can't. He asked to go to their funerals.
Oh.
Yep.
Fuck off. You have no right.
Oh, he had no right.
No.
And he wasn't allowed to.
No.
Thank God.
God.
He is such a fucking sack of shit.
So I guess we need to go back a little bit here in terms of talking about Nichol Kessinger.
Oh, yeah.
So she's interesting. Very. And there's a lot out there of speculation of her involvement in this. And one thing to note, I think, that stood out to me in terms of her. And so she was interviewed by the police for many hours, and they didn't sort of overlook her at all in terms of what her role might have been in this. However, in all of her interviews, interestingly, is her father sitting in on those interviews. And apparently he had connections to police officers.
Yeah.
So, look, a lot of people think that there's more to that. And I think there is a little bit more to her, but how much?
And what did she know?
Sure of.
We don't
and
know.
when did she know things? I question.
Yeah, so are you talking about, so in one of her police interviews, they say to her, did you know Shanann? And she's like, I didn't even know her name.
Which is bullshit.
Because
there are a lot of lies in her interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, because she befriended Shanann on Facebook and was following her whatever video platform. I think it was on Facebook as well, actually.
Actually, she on her phone, which she deleted a lot of stuff off her phone.
She did. That's the other thing that makes me go,
that I find really interesting. She Google searched in August of 2017.
Yeah.
She Googled Chris. It wasn't until January 2018 she started Googling Shanann. She didn't actually meet and start dating Chris until June 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So but in that interview, she says she didn't even know who Shanann was really.
Didn't know her name.
No.
Bullshit.
So there are definitely some cracks in her story, because not only there were a lot of searches on her phone that were interesting. Another one where she certainly lied about things in that she lied and that she didn't even know. According to her, Chris had told her that the marriage was over, he was separated and it was amicable, and that's where they were at in terms of they're getting divorced. Yet she had Google searched in the July, man I'm having an affair with says he will leave his wife.
Yeah.
How to prepare for a divorce. Dating a man going through a divorce. And will mistresses be asked to testify?
I love it. I mean, hello.
That was before they went missing.
Yes. This was in July. And then the murders took place in August. You can't tell me she had nothing to do with it. Yeah.
She also searched wedding dresses.
Yeah, for 2 hours or something. She was on some wedding dress website.
Yeah, and then can cops trace text messages?
And how long do carriers keep text messages for or something like that?
Yep.
Chronic migraine is 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they start. It's not for those with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents on average 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Why wait? Ask your doctor, visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com, or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
Did you know your hair ages just like your skin does? The new Chronologies line offers luxurious youth revitalizing care for aging hair. It reverses the 5 key signs of hair aging: lack of thickness and volume, dullness, dryness, and frizz in just one night. Use the full range of Chronologies shampoo, mask, and overnight serum and wake up to visibly fuller, smoother, healthier hair. Shop the new Chronologies line at Kerastase.com.
So then after the murders, the searches that she did, and also many, and deleted many of, one of them in particular that stands out was, did people hate Amber Frey? Now, Amber Frey, we might know from the Peterson case, where Lacey Peterson was murdered by her husband and he had a mistress. And so she was trying to find out, what was the general public's opinion of the mistress in the situation?
Yeah, because she's like, this is me. But this was before.
And then book deal with Amber Frey. She Google searched, just checking out if I can maybe get a book deal out of this. Maybe
I can make some money out of this.
Yeah. So,
she's not innocent.
And look, the interviews with her, I find even just her as a person, she's interesting.
She's very, like, I'm not saying this in like a mean way or anything, but she's very like tomboy.
Yeah, very tomboy. Yep.
She loves the outdoors and all of that sort of stuff. She has a very masculine
presence.
presence.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, there are rumours going around. I mean, I think I've read this on Reddit or something. That Chris had affairs with men previously.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, again, didn't hear that. But again, Reddit.
Take it with a grain of salt. But,
yep.
you know, I'm just putting it out there. Something I'd read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, so a lot of her story didn't add up. And there is, I think you alluded to this earlier too, going back a little bit more around, how this murder being premeditated in some way.
Yeah.
There is some evidence that did show that possibly he was attempting to get rid of Shanann in other ways.
Yes, I did allude to this earlier.
Yeah.
And her autopsy proved this.
Proved it, yeah. So he did somehow gain access to some, what was the drug that he was using?
Oh, I think it was cocaine.
Was it cocaine?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yep.
So, her autopsy showed that there was potentially that was in her system, and that's probably why she felt unwell while she was away.
Yeah, because she was withdrawing.
Yeah.
So he'd been giving her little bits of it to try and, I don't know.
Induce, that was right. No, sorry. He wasn't necessarily trying to kill her.
Yeah.
Trying to induce
labour. That's the other thing that Nicole had
That's
Google
right.
searched.
Yes.
That's right. Because, no, that's the other thing Nicole had done.
Yes.
She'd called a doctor's surgery
Yes.
and asked, if you give cocaine to a pregnant woman, what will happen?
Yeah.
Will it end a pregnancy?
Yeah.
And
was it cocaine though? I feel like it wasn't cocaine.
Maybe it wasn't. Whatever it was. It was something though that it was an illicit drug.
It was something in that category, but like I don't remember being cocaine. I can't remember what it was now.
Anyway,
whatever
it
was a drug that they had worked out that could basically induce miscarriage of the pregnancy.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at here is that potentially premeditated. Chris was maybe maybe Nicole knew that yes, Shanann was still his wife and pregnant, and they needed to get rid of the pregnancy so that he could leave her easily.
Yeah.
As in, if him turning around and leaving a pregnant wife looks really bad. Looks bad on both of them, on Nicole and Chris.
Yeah.
So they were basically potentially already working on let's get rid of the pregnancy, then I can leave Shanann. But since that didn't work, and I think that's where potentially he fed her this drug prior to going away for the weekend on this exec conference, hoping that away from him, she would have the miscarriage and that would happen. Therefore, he's got nothing to do with it because he's nowhere near her.
Yeah.
That occurs while she's away, and then she comes back and they could then have moved on to a divorce from there. But she's come back and still got the pregnancy, all good with the pregnancy, really. She's just been a little bit unwell. And so therefore his plan didn't work. And so he's gone to a next level of doing something else, which, Nicole didn't have anything to do with murdering her maybe, but I think she knew more stuff.
I think she knew what he was trying to do at the very
I don't know if she actually thought, he might murder her.
But the fact, why would she ring? Yeah, okay, so she was more thinking that he wanted to terminate the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, still,
I mean, that's still...
It's 15 weeks along too. It's...
Yeah.
And without someone else's knowledge of it taking place, it's whole other levels of... Yeah.
100%.
Oh, God.
100%.
Yeah, so there's a lot more to this, I think, with her than meets the eye.
I think you're right. I absolutely think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. The other thing that Shanann's body was found, like in the toxicology report that came through in her autopsy, was that she had alcohol in her system.
Right.
And definitely 100% she would not drink when she was pregnant. It was a hard no for her. So what her dad thinks happened is that she's gotten home, he's given her a drink of something that's then made her basically pass out.
So he could strangle
so
or
that he could
suffocate
suffocate her more readily
Yeah.
without her fighting too much.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
There's then conjecture after that, though, to say that sometimes you can get a reading like an ethanol reading after a period of decomposition in a body. I actually don't know. I'm not sure of what the levels would be for that, or what the validity of that, or I actually just don't know. But it's just something to keep in mind. And if you want to do more research, let us know what you find.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So anyway, Chris Watts, he rots away in jail, which is where he belongs, and he has to be kept in sort of protective custody in there because the case is so well known.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he killed children. I mean, he would just be a target in there. But that'd be that bad? Be that bad?
Oh, no, I think he deserves to rot in prison.
Yeah.
I hope he suffers in there every single day.
Yeah.
I hope I think he's found religion in there.
Ugh. Well, his family have kind of, other than his mum, who has in some ways like justifies it in her mind a little bit that she does stay in touch with him, but pretty much the rest of his family have completely wiped him off their family, knowing what he's done now.
But his mum still thinks that Shanann murdered. She still believes that to this day.
She has, she's the one out of all of them who has a little bit more of a forgiving nature to her son, I guess, which I on a level of being a mum, I can understand, like, you don't want to think things of your children, but at the same time, when they tell you who they are, like, I don't know, it's an interesting one to think about of, like, would you then wipe them off to the point where you wouldn't even visit them, or would you?
I don't know.
I don't know. Exactly. So I'm kind of a bit, okay, it's his mum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
But everyone else, his siblings and et cetera, all that they don't have anything to do with him. Yeah. And definitely, obviously, Shanann's family, who were completely heartbroken by all of this, they try and keep their memories alive, and they are advocates for domestic violence, et cetera, and those sorts of platforms. They speak out whenever they can to bring attention to these things, because family annihilators need to be, well and truly, like, stopped before it can get to that point. I don't know how we get to that point where we can pick these people out and find who they are before it happens. But
and that's the discourse that I was reading online, because Chris didn't show the hallmarks really of a family annihilator.
Not publicly, which is that's the problem. Like, potentially behind closed doors, you don't know what he was doing. And, well, yeah, I mean, the affair, all those sorts of things, they add up.
Absolutely.
When you put it all together. But you'd have to be some sort of,
well, nobody's looking at anybody that closely.
No, this is it. I mean, you look at all the videos online and you're not going to say, oh, that guy's going to kill his family. Yeah. It's just not.
And he, this is probably speaks a lot to his narcissistic personality as well. He was friends with everyone.
He was a covert narcissist, that's for sure, yeah.
A great friend, a great community member, a great workmate.
Yeah.
He wanted people to think he was awesome, so he was very friendly.
Yeah.
And nice.
Yep.
But friendly and nice people don't murder their children and their pregnant wife. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's a toughie.
It was a tough one.
Yeah.
Everyone just please take care. Reach out to local organisations in whatever country you're listening to if you need, help and support, because there are Lifeline and that kind of thing out there.
Yep.
These cases, as we say, they're really hard to talk about, but I think it's really important to keep the memory of the victims alive and to, really discuss, like, these things happen. And as awful and horrific as they are, we always have the victims at the core of what we do, and we hope we've done them some justice today.
Yep. So those girls didn't get to reach their potential, and that's what is absolute bullshit.
It's not okay.
No.
It's not okay.
No.
Oh, on that note, bloody hell.
So
what are we doing next week?
Next week? Oh, are we doing Gabe Tosti?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, Gable Tosti, sorry, I should say. Yep. Yes. So if you don't know that one, that's an interesting one.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Gable Tosti.
Yes.
AKA, what was it? Mark Williamson?
Eric Thomas. He changed his name too. Yeah. So, if you don't know that name, you might know the other one. Yep.
Cool.
Goes by both names.
Yep. As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit follow on whatever podcasting app you're listening to. If you'd like to buy us a coffee or a wine, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/2crimebesties, all one word. Thank you very much for joining us on another episode.
It's a good one. Well, for, a good one to sink your teeth into, that's for sure, but not a good one in that it's shit. But, yeah. Stay curious, crime besties.
Bye.